is rum, 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 rum. All is rum.
And while alcohol might be enjoyed at parties or celebrations, or even as a pick-me-up after a long day, just one glass might be too much for some people. For both Loretta and Paul, their addiction began when they tried it as children, after being sent to pick some up for adults. And they grew attached to it as they got older.
It began with alcohol helping me. It began with alcohol giving me a lot of fun. But then alcohol is doing that for me. It began to destroy me.
As their drinking progressed, their professional life plummeted.
I realized then I started missing Monday mornings from work. Then my weekends started to get longer. You know, my weekends went to a whole month.
All these plans you have now ain't important anymore. You're just drinking. So you just get up in the morning and drink. All during the night you're drinking. To get a little half an hour sleep, I drink.
And despite being warned by management, family, and even drinking friends to cut back, that advice was not heeded. And reckless decisions continued once alcohol was in control.
I was cooking a time and some person called me for a drink because my house was here and the rum shop was there. So I didn't turn off the stove, I just ran to get this drink. I stayed out there longer than expected. Because at the time I didn't know from the time I take that first drink, the second one can take me. And I stood out there next day and I see all the smoke coming from the house. Saucepan, black. I felt it outside and think that the house smelled bad. And I decided there then that anytime I'm drinking, I won't be cooking.
Then they seemed to hit rock bottom.
Didn't taking care of myself, my hygiene, you know. I didn't used to bathe too often. This is what I didn't know at the time, this is what alcohol did to me.
I had shelter, I had food, I had everything, but I choose not to go home. I have my apartment when I have my apartment. Sometimes I choose not to do things because all I was seeing was alcohol. Alcohol become priority. So I didn't care what work. For me to work, I drink. If the boss get me vexed, it was therapy. So we used to call it therapy. Left, go, drink.
And even then, things became worse.
I wanted to die. I never got to the stage in my life, first time I ever get to the stage in my life that I didn't have the guts to kill myself, but if I busted one off the road and then run, I would just take the lash.
The last thing I did in 1986 is lay down in front of us. Now, I reached the stage in my drinking where the alcohol had stopped working and I was feeling pain and I couldn't bear that pain, so I wanted to die.
Finally, at their lowest point, they sought help. Through Verdun House and Alcoholics Anonymous, or AA, the two began recovery. AA representative Kweku says the fellowship embraces everyone.
Come to our meetings and they're in a place where there are other alcoholics and everyone is identifying as an alcoholic, so people feel safe.
AA protects the identities of members, and the only requirement of membership is a desire to stop drinking. The main goal is to stay sober and to help others maintain sobriety.
There are 12 groups with 19 meetings each week, and each meeting is for an hour. And during that meeting, we share our experience, strength, and hope. Essentially, how do we get sober and how do we stay sober? I
sat and I listened. And I start to identify with what people were saying. Some of the same things that happened to me happened to these people.
With help, she got back on her feet and now helps others around the region with their recovery. Verdun House had a similar effect on Paul, who has made an about turn.
I see people today and they tell me, "Bro, you look so good, eh?" And it's like, so what did you look like before? You know what I mean? It don't be like thank you or whatever. I'd be in my mind, what I did look like before that? You could tell me I look good. You know what I mean? Because I could not see myself.
They all encourage anyone struggling with alcohol addiction to seek help before it's too late. And although Paul says it can be a challenge remaining sober, he believes it is worth it.
Today I got a piece of me. I could It took me months before I could hear birds again. I just love to hear birds. I could get up in the middle of the night and just lay down in bed and be thankful to be alive.
Alcoholics Anonymous encourages anyone struggling with addiction to call the 24-hour hotline at 426-1600 or find the meetings and other information at aabarbados.org. Denyce Blackman, CBC News.